reel it in. I got the bag, tell a friend. She got some, bring it in. Dumb the news, CNN, yeah. Reel it in. I got the bag, tell a friend. She got some, bring it in. Dumb the news, CNN, yeah. Hey. Trippin', really got the TikTok missing. This pimpin', broke ticket got me living. Wow. You Jordan or Pippin'. I'm Kobe, I'm never gon' dish. I'll miss. I'm dissing this.
All right, A-League, episode 86. We got the fellas in the building. First of all, it's Sunday morning, so I want to shout out my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Hey, fellas, how you guys doing?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Man, that Mac Miller death hit me hard, man.
Yeah.
And you know, we missed that week where it was like a timely popular pop topic, but I had to shout out Mac because, you know, I've been listening to dude's music since my sophomore year of high school, so we're talking about age 15 to 23. And, you know, we grew up with Mac. You know, I was born on the same day as him, January 19th. He was born 92. I was born 95. And,
my God.
Wow.
And
95.
And, yeah, dude, he just, you know, it was nice seeing his, like, kind of just the way that his career transformed and everything and how he evolved as an artist, going from, like, a kid that rapped about snapbacks and clothes and getting girls to a dude who made really beautiful music towards the end of his life. So I'm not going to lie. I did follow his music for a couple of years around 2013, 2012, 2011. I won't listen to him. But 2014, I got back onto him with Faces. And I've been listening to him ever since. So RIP Mac Miller. Make sure y'all check up on y'all friends. And make sure y'all be a good friend. If you see your friends having a drug problem, an addiction, alcohol, anything like that, don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, that's real.
All right, first topic. Oh, my bad, David. Hold on. David, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's like it's fall time. Like I got up, there's frost in my car. I was like,
isn't that crazy?
Really?
Like it was literally like 90 degrees yesterday, and since it became the first day of fall, it was actually kind of cool this morning.
Where y'all live at?
I'm Marietta.
Cobb. I guess it's just a Cobb thing because
I didn't.
It was
no
like,
frost. It was hot when I woke up this morning.
Yeah,
it was like 77 degrees, man.
I rolled out the bed sweating. I don't know what y'all talking about.
That was cold, man. I was chilly.
Yeah.
But all right. So what's the first topic for today?
You know, it's kind of it's gonna talk about that Wonder thing.
Oh, the Wanda thing. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get into it, man. If y'all haven't seen, I'm gonna try to describe everything that happened as fast as possible. First thing, Katt Williams goes on V103 to promote his comedy show that he's having at a local Atlanta nightclub. So, you know, Katt comes and he throws shots at Kevin Hart. He throws shots at Tiffany Haddish, pretty much saying they're not that funny. White America chose these people to portray a certain stereotype for black people, and they're using them as like kind of the dolls or whatever. So then he says that Wanda throws in a couple shots at Katt for going to jail all the time, and Katt comes back at her, and he doesn't let up. So he starts roasting her pretty much the last 2 minutes of the show. He calls her fat. He calls her local. You know.
The broccoli.
Yeah.
I make a mean broccoli.
She's like, man, what'd you do for that? You throw it in the thing and you steam it. How hard is making broccoli? So he called out her cooking. He called out pretty much all that. And then he said his hair was real. He had the 19 inches, no perm.
Is that my hair doesn't move when I talk?
Oh man.
He asked her if the wig came with the headphones. So yeah, long story short, he roasted her really bad. Reportedly later, either that night or the next day or whatever, when Katt was still in Atlanta, Wanda's husband met up with Katt and he pulled out a gun on him. Wanda's husband said that he ran up on Katt and his gun fell out and the security guards took him down. So he said he didn't pull no gun out on him. He just ran up on Katt.
That second one sounded like alibi for the police when the police get involved. That's what that one sounded like.
And he said the gun fell out.
Just fell out. Okay.
The gun fell out when he ran up on Katt. So that's what he said happened. So okay, fast forward to about Thursday or whatever. Breakfast Club, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish are promoting Night School. And, you know, they talk about Night School for 8 minutes and Kevin Hart gets straight to it. He responds and he says, you can talk about me. I don't care if you don't think I'm funny. You can talk about me, come at me all you want. I'm built for this. I've been here long enough, blah, blah, blah. but you can't start coming for my sister or my family. And he was like, Katt, you were in the exact same position I was in a few years ago. Who did you put on when you was up there? We don't see anybody that you put on from when you was up there. I'm putting on Tiffany Haddish. I'm putting on blah, blah, blah. I got a whole network of comedians that I'm trying to raise and get in the spotlight and give them that attention. So Kevin Hart goes off on that. He says, Katt, you're being jealous just because you messed up. You had this position that I had, and you messed it up by doing drugs. So that's pretty much, in short, what Kevin Hart said. And he said another thing he said was one of the problems with black people is they complain about the problems. There's not enough black people running awards. There's not enough representation in media. And then once those black people actually get the opportunities, you want to complain about the black people that are getting the opportunities. Like Tiffany Haddish just portraying a negative stereotype of black woman, blah, blah, blah. Kevin Hart ain't funny. So-and-so ain't funny. And he like, instead of complaining about it, we need to be a part of the solution, and you need to help put on somebody, Katt. And that's pretty much what Kevin Hart was saying. All that being said, thoughts on the Kevin Hart, Katt Williams, Wanda Sykes, not Wanda Sykes, Wanda triangle.
I mean, first off, I'll just say that the whole husband thing, you know, I don't think that was necessary. Like, you really gonna have your gun out for dude? And just like, you know, it's back and forth. You know, she's part of the comedy stuff, and that goes back and forth. You know, don't dish it out if you can't take it. And you know, I was just like, you know, dang, I'm surprised she still got a job because, you know, but then again, you know, V103 probably loved the ratings, you know, because they milked the hell out of that right there all week. And it was like, here's Wanda's response on the show and stuff. And, you know, like Frank Ski was right there, you know, listening to it the whole time. So
Frank Ski was cracking up, man.
Yeah, like the entire time.
Yeah, if it was that bad or something like that, you know, he would have stopped it, you know, and just like, you know, just going back and forth, you know, it wasn't nothing like he threatened to kill her or anything like that, or, you know, they was going back and forth, and, you know, that's what's part of comedy. But as far as the putting Kevin Hart's comments and stuff, I mean, it's just I know it's just back and forth. I mean, there's just two different types of comedians. Like Katt's more, you know, political and, you know, more on issues. Kevin Hart, you know, just, I'm short, you know, I'm short. My uncle out of prison, stuff like, you know, he's more formula based, and it's just like, you know, Katt's not gonna do that, and that's why, you know, you can't put a pimp in night school and stuff like that, or someone talking about politics, stuff like that. You know, he don't fit that image. But, you know, they say Katt has had like multiple women like Luell and a couple other women comedians on his tour and stuff and like that. But you know, it's just different. You know, it's just like, I really can't think of anybody that's doing exactly what Kevin Hart's doing, like as far as that type of comedian style. But, you know, like I consider Katt alongside like stuff like Dave Chappelle and all that, as far as like style and stuff. But, you know, you see Dave Chappelle, he can't, you know, he can't do night school either, you know. No. So I mean, so it's just like, you know, like Kevin, you know, you got that lane, and, you know, nobody else can really challenge you for you right now.
I mean, when are we going to start admitting that Kevin Hart's just actually good at what he does? I mean, the argument that Katt Williams has, you know, it can be argued about multiple industries. Like, it could be said about the music industry, like David touched on. I mean, it's about your style, and, you know, that same argument could be used like in music with, you know, like a J. Cole versus the Drake, or, I mean, none of these things are bad. It's just kind of is what it is. I mean, I'm not mad at Kevin Hart for being what he is. And like you said, Katt Williams had his opportunities when he was, you know, in Friday. He should have taken off at that point, but he didn't. So that's really on him, because he wanted to do drugs and he got arrested, and I'm not gonna feel sorry for him because of that. And as far as what he said to Wanda, I mean, that's And that's if you go to any high school or middle school, that's something you're gonna see on a Friday or a slow day. You're gonna have people roasting each other. That's just what we do. That's what we do. I mean, that's not. I didn't have a problem with that. I just thought the stuff with her husband afterwards was a little unnecessary. I mean, like who did her husband think he was going to confront? I mean, we talking about a guy that got choked by a 13-year-old. So, like, what? First of all, what did you need the gun for? Second of all, why did you go there ready to fight? Because this is a situation where, like I said, middle schoolers do this every day. So if you can't take a joke, don't tell a joke. So, I mean, but as far as him saying that Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart are portraying these stereotypes, he can keep that argument to himself because he follows all of them himself because he's a rich black man who goes to prison all the time and has a bunch of women and he does all these terrible things that they say that we do. So don't really get into that stereotype argument as far as I'm concerned.
So apparently, I know that they were bringing up Leslie Jones a couple times in that Breakfast Club interview with Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. So I looked up Leslie Jones just to see like if Katt put her on because Leslie Jones was the name they kept bringing up. So I looked it up. Apparently, Leslie Jones went on a rant herself. Real quote. Quote unquote. Via rolling out a place where I started. Real talk. Both of them N-words need to keep my name out their mouth unless they try using it to eat mine.
Oh, my God.
Real talk. None of them N-words put me on any woman. While he talking about Katt, what did he do to put on women? He didn't help any females. They wasn't on his tour. F that N-word. At least Katt put me on this tour. Kevin could have put me on a long time ago, but he never respected me or my comedy. And trust that I can call his card. He know I can. Excuse me, my bad. Both Kevin and Katt was the same to women, like all these N-words in the game. S-E, crappy, I'll say it like that, crappy, and still is. Women have never had it good. At least Katt put women on his tour and shows. How many shows back in the day didn't have a woman on them? Kevin, that MFer, told me one time I would never make it. And then that's it.
Oh, wow.
So it seemed like that was kind of a confusing rant. It seemed like she was saying she was defending Katt, but she was also like
she was mad at him
trashing Katt.
Okay.
All right, but anyway, so
okay. I don't know what to make it. I don't know what to make it out.
I edited for her.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what she was trying to say.
Well, I mean, the quote was edited, so I was reading it as the quote was because the quote had the F dot, dash dash dash. Oh my God. So yeah, that was Leslie Jones. Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy, like, cause Tiffany Haddish, like when Katt brought it up, I was like, there hasn't been any actual like times that I laughed at kind of just Tiffany.
No.
Just Tiffany. But I mean, I laughed at her one time. I remember she was telling this joke on Jimmy Kimmel. She was like talking about when she was hanging out with Will and Jada. And
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and Will like sat down and crossed his legs and she said that's how rich men hang, to let their balls hang. That made me laugh. So Tiffany Haddish made me laugh when she said that. So I mean, when people say there hasn't been one time Tiffany Haddish just made me laugh, that made me laugh.
Yeah,
and
man.
Then
have you not seen Girls Trip?
Another thing was
the whole movie's funny.
But Katt was saying that's a character that they wrote for her that people were laughing at. So.
Man, I don't like. But
yeah,
it's if the thing that's funny about Tiffany Haddish. This is how you know a real good comedian versus somebody that's just been written into being funny. Okay. Most of the stuff she says, the words is what's funny. It's the way she says them is what makes it funny. Or her actions around what she says that are funny. Same thing with Katt Williams. A lot of his stuff that's funny is how he delivers it.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy was the same way. Chris Tucker the same way. Trying to think of somebody who was just, his lines are funny. Okay, there are moments where Ben Affleck is funny, but do you consider him a comedian?
Nah.
Like he said hilarious things in movies before.
What about Ashton Kutcher? Ashton Kutcher kind of funny.
He's funny, but he's not a good actor, so he can't be put in the movies and be made to be funny in a movie.
Right.
So Dave Chappelle's funny, but his words are funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all about what you like as far as comedy, but like I can't really think of any great, black women as far as comedians the last couple of years, and I think that's a disservice to the industry because I think there are funny black women out there that just haven't gotten an opportunity.
Oh yeah, some more.
They just haven't gotten opportunities.
How do y'all feel about some more? She's from my pop hometown. Shout out to her. How do y'all feel about kind of this the black women that do make it? If they have to be like loud and like, hey, like,
yeah.
How do y'all feel about that?
I kind of cringe when I see it because I feel like they should allow them to show more depth. I mean, Taraji P. Henson has been, I don't know, she started off as that, but she's kind of touched on other roles now as she's gotten older, and I salute her for that. But it's a lot of funny black women that haven't gotten that opportunity to do that. So
yeah, it's just like it's kind of like hip hop. I just got to be typecasted into a role. It's like, because I do find that the female comedians are sexual or loud and, it's just, I mean, I probably have to do some digging, like really do some digging to really find someone that, that doesn't do those type of jokes. Probably somebody I've never even heard of, but, I mean, it's like Monique and some more and Lunel. Like they're very similar, and I haven't watched the Tiffany Haddish stand up, but from what I've seen her, she has the loud stuff too, but yeah, do some digging.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point. Just saying, like, it's like hip hop because it's exactly like hip hop. You have Rhapsody,
especially on the women's side.
Yeah, you have Rhapsody and you have No Name, and those girls can like really spit. Those are probably the two best rappers and female rappers right now, but everybody's talking about Nicki and Cardi
B. Yep.
And Nicki came into the game as a lyricist, as and now she's doing the whole character thing.
Yep.
She had to do the character thing to go pop. She had to do the character thing to get
to
attention.
go mainstream.
She had to do all that. So I definitely agree with you on that point. Oh, we're talking about Keem in the building. Keem was good. Hey!
What's going on? What's going on, dudes?
We were talking about black women not really getting opportunities in comedy based off the Katt Williams and Tiffany Haddish and whole thing, and then we were saying that it's a lot like hip hop, how they have to play this loud character every time that you see one.
They had to play like a stereotypical character.
Yeah.
It is a shame. It is a shame in some ways, and you're right. It seems as though that that they're not getting those opportunities, and that analogy in terms of hip hop, I definitely also think is definitely apt, and I think it's one of those things as to why the black community as a whole probably needs to just instead of trying so hard to try and go mainstream, it's one of those issues where I feel like until that happens and until we get the respect that we deserve for that, we sort of have to like develop that really within our own community before having to go mainstream, because there can be a lot of drawbacks to going mainstream, like you said, having to play stereotypical characters. And it's also one of those things that even in movies, even in movies and television and pop culture as a whole, black women used to always be characterized as the as you said, that loud, angry sort of stereotypical sort of character. And as of late, we've seen we've seen recent examples where you've seen black women leads that have defied that stereotype. So slowly but surely, I feel like that's another area that is being strides are being made as far as that is concerned. But until there is still going to be that sort of thing out there, because that's just one of those things that people just automatically just characterize black women for.
Well said.
Yeah, well said. I mean, and one thing you just touched on is that when we have our own like I think of Tyler Perry every time I think of this, but even in his movies, he has those stereotypical roles. I'm just like, you literally could make black women be whatever you want them to be in these movies, and he followed a lot of the same guidelines as all these other people.
Like anybody who watches OWN, like half of Oprah Winfrey Network is pretty much all Tyler Perry all the time. That's
our boy.
Right. Yeah. So I know that's exactly that is so true. And and the thing about it is that even black directors and black showrunners, like you said, like Tyler Perry, even they, I guess, sort of fall into that trap, because their whole idea is, make a show about a stereotypical black family. That's the type of thing that will get black viewership. Yeah. But that it may in some ways get black viewership, but is it really an accurate portrayal or the best way to portray families of color or people of color in the broader scheme of things?
I think Blackish does a good job of just that. I don't know. I don't know. I might be missing some woke underlying.
I haven't watched in a while. So.
I haven't watched in a while either. But the episode, I have watched enough episodes to understand like the premise of the show and the characters.
Yeah,
I think they do a good job of kind of like not having any stereotypes, and then they have color, because I know one of the things about Grownish, the spinoff, is that
Grownish is really good.
That everybody's light skinned. Everybody isn't light skinned and Blackish. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like how Blackish doesn't do.
There are some shows that I can kind of see that do a good job of that, but they make fun. I think they use it and make fun of it. You know what I mean?
Use those stereotypes and also sort of like you said, make fun of them?
Yeah, it's more of a tongue in cheek type thing. Like,
okay.
Like in Dear White People, there are a couple times where they say, well, we're not just the angry black people, and we're not going to do this, and then something happened, and they're like, everybody get mad, and they're like, see, we really do get mad, but it's for a reason.
It's for a reason. It's not like
everybody gets mad.
Exactly. I think that happens. It happens in Empire some too. They use Taraji. She's the whole show. She's just really driven and hardworking woman, and she's trying to help build this company, and then she'll have her moments where she's the stereotype, and I'm just like, I don't really think that's what the point they're trying to get across with that. I think they're just saying, yeah, she can also do that too.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. So it's sort of like, okay, you want to portray, but I feel like you also want to portray people as real as much as you possibly can without falling into those stereotypes, because I feel like those stereotypes that people have of black characters, that's one thing, but then it's also like portraying real people that are going through, that are portraying people that are like going through real issues. So it's a thing that is so, common in a lot of shows, whether, like you said with Dear White People and other, and other programs. So it's just a matter of, what it is that, one may very well be into. I mean, I know a lot of the characters on Insecure are rather, dare I say, a little bit, out there, I guess you could say. But I think that's probably one of the geniuses really behind the characters, and really behind Issa Rae as well.
Right. So, moving on now, because it is like a half hour into the show.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick's lawyer was talking about he might get signed by the Pats or another team. That ain't gonna happen. So, but what I am gonna do, I'm gonna let y'all talk about the NFL for a few minutes before we get to Jimmy Butler. So, anything y'all want to talk about NFL related?
Not major. It's NFL Sunday today, so media days tomorrow. So. There's
really nothing going on.
Khalil Mack eating up Russell Wilson. I was about to say Westbrook. And then you got Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on Baker Mayfield.
Benching Tyrod Taylor already is the second game of the season, Tyrod threw a pick. They said, "All right, you out."
Don't get me
hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah,
He got hurt.
concussion.
Do not get me started on Baker Mayfield because I'm going to go on a soapbox to Cleveland and I am going to stay on it.
Oh,
because
Lord.
here's my thing. I understand
He gonna
Baker
stay on
Mayfield
that.
stay on this mess. Like I understand everybody in Cleveland going crazy like, "Oh, we haven't won a game in forever." Like we went 0-16. Now all of a sudden Baker Mayfield, comes in, engineers a huge win over the Jets. Probably should, for all I know, that everybody's saying that if not for the tie, they could have been 2-0 or 3-0. Let me just say this right now. You was playing the Jets, okay? You was playing the New York Jets, okay? You're playing the Jets, okay? When's the last time that the Jets have been any sort of relevant? And plus, it's still early in the season. Like, wake me when you in contention for the playoffs, and then maybe we can talk about replacing the LeBron witness mural if they haven't already done it in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. But until then, slow your rolls, Cleveland. It's only one game. Calm down.
Didn't Cleveland replace the mural in like 2014 with Johnny Manziel?
How did that turn out?
No, I mean, that was a legit question.
No, I was laughing because I think it happened for real.
They really replaced it with Johnny Manziel.
Because LeBron came back 14 and Manziel got drafted in 14.
And
he got drafted in 14.
I think they took it down after the decision. I'm taking my talents to South Beach and joining the Miami Heat. They took it down after that. And then when he did the interview with Lee Jenkins in Sports Illustrated where he was returning to Cleveland, they put a new mural up.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they did.
Empty for like 2 years.
Yeah, it was empty, and then they put a new mural
3
that
years
said
or whatever it was.
where it
It's-
said Cleveland number 23.
I see a mural of, I don't know if this is photoshopped or not, but I see it a couple times. It's Johnny Manziel on draft night with the Cleveland Browns hat doing the money.
Oh,
and then
God.
and
That
then
has to be Photoshopped.
LeBron next to him wearing a Nike shirt that says Money Manziel and a snapback backwards doing the money. And it says Cleveland Rocks.
That may have been like a marketing thing.
Probably.
Yeah,
Because I remember seeing that somewhere else too.
Yeah, because Manziel was on LeBron's agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous how they're going so crazy.
LeBron and the Lakers, just.
I know, right? He's making moves. I mean, that's why he went out to the Lakers. That's why he went out to L.A.
Before we get to that, I want to respond to what Akeem said. Akeem, the Cleveland Browns are going to make the wild card this year.
Huh? Come again?
Are you sure? I didn't want to hear him say that.
Was that a hot?
I didn't want to hear him say come again.
That's
all I wanted. I'm good.
That was a hot take.
I'm good now.
That was a hot take.
I'm good.
That was a hot take.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
It's not really that big of a hot take. I mean,
I thought they were going to make the playoffs before the season.
That's a hot take.
They got so many first round picks and talent on that team, man. There's no excuse for them to lose 3 games.
Hey, your Braves just won the NL East. What is one of the golden rules that we follow here in ATL? Until they actually win, we don't want to get off of we don't want to jump off of the get too far ahead of ourselves.
But that's Cleveland. They're not subject to our curse.
Yeah.
What? LeBron broke their curse.
You know how we do that here. I don't know. Last night, Oregon got a little bit of our curse. I don't know if y'all saw the end of that game, but they had a 24-7 lead. They blew that. Okay, they blew that. Okay,
they were playing Stanford, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They blew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they scored again at the end of the game to kind of take a little lead, and they were getting ready to close the game out. I think it was like 34 seconds left. And all they have to do is take 2 knees and they win the game. They run the ball, the guy fumbles the ball, Stanford goes down, kicks a field goal, ties the game, goes overtime, throws a touchdown pass, wins the game.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's wild.
I saw that Sports Center clip. I was like, that's crazy.
I was sitting there with my mouth open. I couldn't say anything. All I could do was text.
Wow. What can you do after seeing like that?
I would have rather lost a 28-point lead in the Super Bowl than lose that way.
Oh, man.
Speaking of Maroon 5, another reason. Hold on. Let me. All right.
Say it.
All right.
Come on, say it.
Let me get off my little venting session for the week. Real quick. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. I promise.
No. Don't keep it short. Go all in, man.
No.
Go all in, Shad. Go all in.
We on a time limit, Keem.
Go all in. We still got 25.
Last week I went to Walmart. To get a PS4 and to get NBA Live. I won NBA Live over 2K.
You get Spider-Man?
Because I didn't get Spider-Man. I mean, I don't have that much time to play games. So it was like I just wanted to get the one game that I knew I was going to play. So I got NBA Live over 2K because NBA Live has the WNBA, and that's the main reason why I wanted to play both. So I got NBA Live. In the meantime, waiting for the man to get the keys or whatever, I'm looking, and I noticed something. To this year's Madden is Antonio Brown, and then the historical Madden, the Madden Classic, whatever, Hall of Fame mode, is Terrell Owens. So they got 2 black men on the cover of Madden. And then I see everybody celebrating Baker Mayfield because he hit them folks to walk it like I talk it. And
where they did that at?
all on Twitter. It's all on Twitter. That's the only clip I seen after that game was him hitting them folks to walk it like I talk it. So then I see that, and I forgot what was another thing. Oh yeah, and then the Super Bowl thing happened, whatever, with the announcement of Maroon 5. So the NFL like really embraces and they profit off of black culture and black people. I've already said this. I already went on this rant. I just don't understand why it's a problem when a black person has a problem. And, you know, there's a couple other guys in the league, still in the league, that are standing up for the black issues and all that. But the main faces of it were Eric Reed and Colin Kaepernick. And now it's Kenny Stills and Albert Wilson. I think once those guys' contracts run out with Miami, I already said this, Jeremy disagreed, those guys aren't getting another NFL contract because they are the faces of the movement now. And that's just how it looks like it's been going. So, all right. That was my little rampage on the NFL. Oh, no. Now to the Maroon 5 thing.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, like everybody. You have one job, and you can't say that there's not an Atlanta hip-hop artist that's mainstream enough to do the Super Bowl because there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them that they could do at least 1 or 2 songs that everybody knows. Everybody knows Hey Ya because they play it at every dang game 50 times. Yeah, they're done touring, but I mean,
they
Super Bowl.
They wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah, 3 Sacks wouldn't do it just because
so
3 Sacks goes in hiding, and then he's kind of woke. he be wearing the shirts with all the social issues on it. He definitely wouldn't do the Super Bowl.
They'd be like, we're gonna have Big Boy on. They're like, who?
Well,
Dang.
well, I mean, Big Boy could do. Big Boy could do. I like the way you move.
Yeah.
Big Boy could do that at the Super Bowl. I like the
but a lot of people think that's Andre 3000 too.
Yeah,
but Big Boy could do that.
no,
So
we're gonna have Big Boy.
But it just don't look like they had Big Boy without 3 Stacks.
He's really short.
Cardi, yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's funny to me.
But Cardi, come on, Cardi. Last year, I won't do the Super Bowl unless Colin Kaepernick gets hired. That's what she said, hired. And then when they offer that bag up, after you did your Bruno Mars song, you got enough bags, Cardi.
Right.
Come on,
she
man.
made enough. You made enough money moves, Cardi.
But
Oh my God.
my thing is, if you're gonna have Maroon 5 and you're gonna invite hip hop artists, why did you bring hip hop artists from 2 different parts of the
New
country?
York and Houston. Cardi from New York. Travis Scott from H-Town.
Migos definitely, but T.I. wouldn't have done it. I see T.I. like on every.
T.I. is not doing it.
T.I. is the social justice warrior, man.
Right.
He ain't gonna do the NFL. I'm sorry, NFL.
Right. He's not doing it.
They could have at least got Luda though.
Gambino wasn't gonna do it either.
They could have got.
Right.
I mean, but
Luda done performed at Georgia's spring game.
Luda did the McDonald's high school game, bro.
Yeah, I don't get why they didn't at least call Luda.
Put some Atlanta hot sauce on it.
I don't have a problem with Maroon 5 doing it, but I do wish they would have had some Atlanta like this. Like I agree with you that there should have been some Atlanta flavor to it because it's like this is the capital of hip hop right now.
When you go when the All-Star game and the NBA goes to New Orleans, what do?
It's New Orleans.
The halftime
Lil
show.
Wayne,
the
Baby.
halftime show. They'll do a big hip hop artist or whatever who could get to everybody.
Yeah.
But in the intros, they got the trombones, the tubas, the trumpets, the saxophones.
It's a
Migos performed.
It's a different thing. Like,
Yeah.
Like Super Bowl fans don't go to Super Bowl. It's corporate.
True.
So you over here just like having a wine and cheese crowd with these artists and stuff, and then now they gotta be real careful with the type of artists they have after the Janet Jackson thing.
So
Oh man, don't get me started on that.
So bring the classy person from hip hop. You're gonna bring in Cardi B.
So wait,
Like I said, Luda would have been a decent choice.
The one who just threw
that's,
a shoe at Nicki Minaj at the little fashion
Man,
week
But
event.
yeah,
that beef is something else with Cardi and Nicki.
But yeah, Super Bowl's been going for a while, and then like Atlanta's cool. They've been in Atlanta before, and there wasn't no Atlanta rapper back in the.
But
then.
I mean, Atlanta was just getting started back in the 90s.
Right, because in the
When was
90s
the
it
last one?
was
Talk about
L.A. and
hip-hop.
New York.
When was
Like-
the last Super Bowl we had here in Atlanta? 2000?
It was like
Right.
98, 2000.
It was the Rams and Titans.
It was
Yeah.
it was the weekend Ray Lewis killed the dude, right?
It was the Rams and Titans. That was the
Yo, R.P. Eric McNair, man.
right. That was the
like,
1 year where he came 1 yard short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dave's got a good point. It's corporate America, and
True.
That's just that is what it is. Like if you really look at it, it's always been since the Janet Jackson thing. It's kind of always been that corporate person that everybody.
The thing
knows,
is like the difference between I will say the last 5 years and now is the NFL's been so stubborn with it, just admitting the fact that hip hop is the number one genre.
Oh no, they had Beyonce on for like they milked her on there like multiple years.
Beyonce is in hip hop though. She's pop.
No, you say her. She
her last album was hip hop.
She's pop trying to be hip hop because
Yeah.
she's trying to be
She's
trap.
not. She's not doing a good job.
I mean,
trying to be trash.
but I mean, I understand what you're saying because she was rapping and all that, but
Yeah.
But how many of those rapping songs did she do 7-Eleven at the Super Bowl? I don't think so.
she could have
Like,
kept
was like-
that last her and Jay-Z thing. They
I
could
bet
have
it
kept
dip in
that.
the alcohol. I bet it dip in the
Oh,
alcohol. Yeah, like that. Hey,
I want-
jumping off the stage.
I want to say something to your point though about the, I mean, I get where you're coming from with the, why is it a problem when a black man says something? But that's more than just a sports thing. That's America right now, and people don't really understand where we're coming from when we say that. I mean, I've heard stories of where someone says. Someone raises their hand and gives an idea, and yeah, I think this would happen, and blah blah blah. This could work, and this would be a really good idea, and blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, but I don't really like that, and it's dismissed. By the end of the same meeting, couple other colored people and different types of people put their spin on it, and you end up with the same solution that the first person put out there, but it's a black person. So there is a little bit of that going on, and that's I think that's bigger than just football. So I mean, I can't disagree with what you're saying as far as that, but it's a corporate thing now, and with all the the NFL is not about losing their money. So that at the end of the day, that's gonna, if a choice of a artist to perform for 30 minutes at halftime
in front of 15,000 people.
Yeah, when you got to wait, that little time. I mean, if at the end of the day, that's really a small time slot that could cost them millions of dollars.
Oh, he's one.
If they
In
don't,
the NFL, they're like 70,000 here.
yeah, that could have a big impact on their brand. So to them, it's probably a little small decision.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's just stay away from those people because blah blah blah.
I fool with Maroon 5. Don't get it twisted. I like Maroon 5. I just think in Atlanta, like you had a chance, like everybody was saying, to do it.
I mean,
Atlanta,
it's
so.
just Super Bowls came to multiple cities with prominent hip hop history.
but Atlanta has like a specific, like if you went to Oakland, I wouldn't be like mad if you brought out G-Eazy. You know what I'm saying? They would.
Yeah.
If they went to Oakland, right? They would definitely let G-Eazy do the halftime.
Because G-Eazy is mainstream.
When they went to New York, did they have Jay-Z?
No, they did. They had Bruno Mars, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is. But I
You see
mean,
what I'm saying?
but New York wasn't New York then.
No, New York is still known for it. It's
I mean,
it's a bigger history of rap.
There was
than
no
Atlanta.
there was no
but
50
New York-
Cent. There was
but New
no
York-
Jay-Z. There was no.
But New York isn't.
That's
New
where
York
hip-hop
anymore.
started.
I know, but even New York will tell you like New York isn't New York anymore.
But
Atlanta is hot right
But
now.
yeah.
Atlanta
Yeah.
is
But
number
yeah,
one
but
right
yeah,
now.
what
Atlanta
is-
where it's the culture is right now.
but-
Right.
I'm
Like,
just
where
saying,
is
like,
New
the
York hip hop outside of Cardi?
I'm just saying historically, just Jay-Z, countless other New York rappers that people will embrace.
Yeah, Nas.
Like
and
that.
all
That
them. Yeah,
that's an
cool.
opportunity.
Jadakiss.
That like no matter what, seeing Jay-Z perform is like no matter what the current climate of the hip hop is in that
Right.
city. Having Jay-Z would be like an homage to the entire history of hip hop.
Jay-Z did the World Series.
And plus, if
It's
you
not
have
the Super Bowl though.
if you
Yeah, I
have
know.
Jay-Z
But
perform,
I'm saying,
you
like-
gotta have Beyonce there. You just got to. You just got to.
She gonna turn the lights off again.
I'm so
We
tired
good
of
on her.
Beyonce, bro.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't wanna
tired
see
of
Beyonce
Beyonce
no
at the
more.
Super Bowl, to be honest.
They tried to
I'd
badger.
rather see. I'd be okay if they had Bruno Mars for the Super Bowl for like the next 5 years. Like,
They remember.
I don't
the
watch
year,
it anyway, so I don't.
The
I never
year
watched
when
the halftime
the
show.
year I think it was when Lady Gaga performed, they were asking her questions about because she put things on her Instagram about a bee emoji, and they were asking her questions at the pre-concert press conference. Oh, are you gonna bring out Beyonce? Like what? And at the time, Beyonce was pregnant with twins. So why they
Yeah, I'm
she's
tired
already
of
performed at two Super Bowl halftime shows. So they're trying to milk the Beyonce mess.
yeah, but real quick, we gonna move on to Jimmy Butler. Jeremy, I appreciate your rebuttal. You always gotta show the other side. All right, Jimmy Butler. That is a mess. What do you guys?
It's a mess.
What do you guys think about Jimmy Butler? Where do you think he's going?
MESS. Mess.
First of all, when did Jimmy Butler get good enough for us to like change our whole direction of a franchise because he want to be traded? First of all, second of all, why have we gotten to a point where everybody want to go to big cities and like want their own team? And I want to go to LA. I want to go to New York. Why? They don't want you. They don't need you. Like they don't. The Clippers are just fine without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
The Knicks will be just fine without, unless Kyrie goes there next year. And that wouldn't even, he would still be the third best player. So what's the big deal about this?
Don't do it, Jimmy Butler. Do not even think about going to New York until Dolan sells the team. Do not stay away from the Knicks.
It ain't even
Isn't
about
this
the
the
team.
last
Stay
year
away
of his
from the Knicks.
contract?
Yeah, he's a free agent next year anyway. I don't get
Yeah,
why.
there you
First of all, I
go.
don't
There
get
you go.
why.
Yeah.
Why would you trade anything for this guy if you know he wants to play for you? Why would you trade anything for him
Why don't you just suck it up and play for a year?
for 1 year?
I mean, but
1 year rental.
Looking at NBA players' perspective, they always break it down like this. I'm gonna be in the league if I'm lucky 15 years. My prime is like 5 years. So they very just giving you the NBA players' perspective. He's like, why would I waste 1 year of my prime on a place I don't want to be
I
in?
just like
If you want to be
Mm.
really completely honest, Jimmy Butler's prime ended last year. That was the last year of his prime. So
Yeah, I just looked at him just doing a courtesy. I think nobody wants to deal with. Not that they'll have a LeBron-like backlash, just leaving without people seeing it coming, but just like hey, trade me so you can get something back versus I
Man,
leave.
speaking of something back, they done gave up Markkinen,
Yeah.
Chris Dunn,
Zach LaVine
and Zach LaVine,
and a first round pick
and another first.
Oh, yeah.
round.
to
Justin.
get 6 extra wins.
Yeah.
So where is Jimmy Butler that great of a deal?
6 extra wins in a stacked Western Conference.
I don't care if they were playing in Graham Cracker Land.
Wow.
He only gave them 6 more wins. I'm not. That's not an exact number. I don't know how many more wins they had.
But it's
I
not
don't
that
care.
much. I
Hey,
see
they
you,
made
we
the
see you
playoffs.
drift.
They
made the
barely
playoffs.
made the playoffs over a
Yeah.
team that literally had
I don't think they were close to making the playoffs the year before, were they?
No, not the year before. They were
not
like
the year
10th.
before, but
were
they
like-
that progression that they made, they would have made had he been there or not.
And
Yeah.
everybody was
Because he
making all
missed
these
20 something games last year.
everybody, myself included, everybody was making all these wild predictions about how the Wolves were, the next team, like the next team, like when the Golden State Warriors start their downslide, like, oh, the Timberwolves are just going to go up and become the new team to beat in the NBA. They're going to be part of the new wave.
Well, they would have been if they hadn't traded Rubio, but
They were
that's
good. They were good on paper.
No, I didn't like it. Like you just had Jeff Teague, You know, because they were talking about, you know, they wanted a shooter at point guard. They got Jeff T and paid more money for him than Rubio got.
But they have I don't get that thinking, because you got a defensive coach who doesn't really care about offense, and you already have how many shooters? 4 on the court at all times. So why would you need your point guard to be able to shoot?
And that's a great point about Rubio. Look what he's doing in Utah.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I would hate to be a Timberwolves fan right now.
Yeah, it just sucks for them. Guess they got to root for the Lynx.
Yeah.
Hey, at least they still winning now.
Nah, they about to.
Are they though?
They're going on a fire wholesale.
All the links.
Yeah.
That's right.
Atlanta.
They're blowing it up.
They kind of are, because they're starting to
Trade
get
Tiffany Hayes for Maya Moore.
That's not happening.
Oh,
That's not happening.
they can have her.
That's not happening.
They can have Angel McCutcheon too.
Hey,
no disrespect, but
the thing is, if Minnesota, if the Lynx are ready to give up Maya Moore, like, do we really want like this Maya Moore? Like, it's one of those things. I kind of think, like, you know, the Storm just won the WNBA championship with, you know, Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart, Joel Lloyd, and it was one of those issues where Maya Moore didn't even get selected for the FIBA World Cup team. So this was, in many ways, was sort of a down year for her. You know, she wasn't even the captain at the All-Star team. So, you know, it's one of those things. I feel like if the Dream get Maya Moore, like, no disrespect, she's one of the best players of all time. She arguably the GOAT. But if we get Maya Moore, I kind of liken it to when the Hawks got Dwight Howard. Because I feel like the Hawks got Dwight Howard, but they got a Dwight Howard who was somewhat past his prime.
Maya Moore ain't nowhere near past her prime.
Yeah,
I would say she's past her prime if you watched her last season.
Like, from a system fit, would she fit in the Dream?
I mean, I don't care about that.
Yeah,
all I care about is
give her the ball.
She's
get out
from
the way.
Atlanta, and she's one of the best players of all time. I would love to see her play.
I mean, it would get a lot of buzz for sure, and plus, it would reunite her with Renee Montgomery, who they got for this past year.
Did you see Tiffany Hayes in the playoffs this year?
Thank you. I saw that, and I don't care who they need to get or what.
That
they
was
need to give
ridiculous.
Up. But whatever that was that she did, I'll take whatever Maya Moore got left over that.
And remember, the Dream, in all honesty, they won 2 games, but they only won 2 games against Washington because Deladon was injured.
Exactly.
And then Deladon came back, and then what happened?
Dust. Like,
I mean, but
remember the last
stepped
episode?
up in those wins?
What was the last episode when you were talking about how we you thought I forgot, but I didn't forget. You remember when I said, you know, Deladon was just gonna come out the locker room and say it today?
Oh,
what had happened though?
You called it. You called it.
Deladon had a whole knee brace.
She had a whole new knee.
Right.
She took 1 game off.
And 1 game, and now she played in the WNBA finals, and now she's playing on the World Cup team in Spain.
Like nothing ever happened.
Deladon is something else.
She bringing the ball up while her right leg dragging on the court.
Meanwhile, we got Falcons players finishing the game and not playing anymore.
Man.
Oh man,
like what?
Shout out to Dan Quinn, man, for lying to the fans and and the players themselves.
That's crazy.
You're not hurt.
You
not
good,
hurt,
bro. You good, bro.
You're gonna be all right. He has a foot fracture. He's gonna be out for 10 weeks.
Oh, man.
I tell him he's gonna practice Monday.
That's that Belichick stuff.
ACL. You tore your ACL.
You ready to practice Monday, right?
That's that reverse Belichick stuff.
Oh my God, it's bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
I had to let a little pain out. I'm sorry it spoiled over.
Let it out.
Let's talk about Jimmy. I forgot about Jimmy.
Let it out. You said something about Jimmy.
Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Like, I mean, I feel like the drama matters more than anything because Jimmy Butler isn't going to win you. He just isn't going to get you closer to the championship.
Just think about
Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving on the Knicks isn't gonna.
It's not gonna do anything.
No, it's not gonna do anything.
It'll get you to the playoffs.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe to the playoffs along with Porzingis.
With Porzingis, that's a playoff team.
Yeah, if he stay
I would hope so.
And that dude knocks it. They
if
drafted.
him and Kyrie say her,
they have never played a whole season.
Kyrie and Jimmy stay.
Jimmy the healthiest one, and he missed 20 games a year, like Jeremy said.
Right, exactly. It may very well get the Knicks to the playoffs, but what are they going to do in the playoffs?
Speaking of, we got the preseason started. I just want to interject on something. Boston. Everybody want to talk about Boston every single year because they got the team on paper. What are you talking about? You haven't heard it.
No,
People assume.
I hear about the Lakers. That's all
When,
I've heard.
when you begin the game,
I read
you open
something
it up.
yesterday.
It's Boston versus the Warriors.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
what
read
the
something
heck?
today.
Yeah, that's what
where
everybody's saying. It's Boston's year.
It said if Boston goes to the finals, they think they can beat the Warriors.
They could. Finals fatigue.
In 2K?
No, I'm saying
In NBA Live?
finals fatigue.
They played 12 games to get to the finals. They sweep every other team.
And plus,
but
ain't
we're
no
not gonna-
fatigue.
I'm just saying, just like it happened with the Lakers and happened with the Heat recently.
I mean, it did.
And then
It did.
Cousins
And
will
you
be
can't- you can't
Cousins will
defy-
be
you
fresh
can't
in April.
You can't deny actual, these are actual human beings. Just like
That's true.
Everybody's just like Kobe and Powell, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. They
But-
all got who would have thought Dallas would have beat the Heat?
I think
Dallas swept the defending champs that year. Do people forget?
Yeah, and they came off of consecutive finals.
I agree with what you're saying, David. But when it comes to Boston being the team that beat them, I can't see that just because
No.
first of all, Gordon Hayward.
Wait. Hold on. My
Literally
bad.
shattered his leg.
One more thing. That was Miami's first year together in the
What?
finals. You said Miami came off of consecutive finals when they lost.
Oh,
to
that's right. When
Dallas.
they lost to the Spurs. When they
Oh,
when they lost to the
you said
Spurs.
Dallas. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
when they lost
Dallas.
to Spurs.
Okay.
Dallas. That was
All right.
2011.
That team was
Con-
also
continue,
really old
Jeremy.
at that point.
Continue, Jeremy.
I mean, I just can't see Boston beating the. First of all, I don't think Kyrie's going to stay healthy for an entire season. Second of all, Gordon Hayward, I don't see him being the same kind of player he was right away. Like he may go from a guy who scores 20 points per game down to 15, 16 this year just because.
I mean, that's how he was in the playoffs. I mean, like he wasn't really like that alpha. Like you look at those playoff series in Utah.
Yeah.
Joe Ingles, Joe Johnson,
That's
then
true.
Gordon Hayward.
That's true. I mean,
And then Rudy Gobert.
The hype about Jason Tatum is taking off and it's taking a life of his own and it's kind of getting out of hand because
Yeah.
I like him and I think he's going to be a really great player and I think he's going to be a star. But let's slow our roll a little bit and realize that he only averaged like 14 points per game during last season.
When you get
That
that
Boston
hype, when you
Celtics
get
hype
that
machine is
hype,
something else.
that defense change up when you get that hype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People know who this guy is now. They're not going
when
to
you get an
surprise
offseason,
nobody.
when you get an
Yeah.
all season to prepare, that defense change up.
And
on
when you put on that green jersey, that also means something because, like I said, that Boston Celtics hype machine, that Boston Celtics hype machine is something else. And by the way, speaking of the Warriors and the fact that they, kind of lucked out when they won the championship last year, they lucked out because they should have lost in the conference finals to Houston. So before we
they didn't.
But they didn't, but they should have. But so before we even pencil in the Warriors,
Falcons should have won the Super Bowl in 2016.
so before we even think about the finals yet, Golden State got to get out of the Western Conference.
Who going to beat them?
They got to get out of the Western Conference.
Who's going to beat them?
Melo.
I think
There you go.
The fact they
There
added,
you go.
The fact they added him, I just don't have.
That took them away from having that literally gave them a 20% worse chance of winning.
Oh,
because
man.
they added Melo.
Oh man,
Yo, I'm
you know
really
what
interested to
championships?
Dog, this LeBron thing is gonna be so crazy. Like
Yeah, that's all I've been hearing.
it don't make any sense. Like he went to a mediocre team with like some good talent, young talent that will be
Yeah.
good in 5 years. Like
I wouldn't say they're mediocre.
Would you say that the team that he's on now, this Laker team, is better or worse than the 07 Cleveland team that he
they're
took?
better.
That's better.
They better than
That's
that.
better.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
Lord have
better,
mercy.
but they're in a better conference. Because the Eastern Conference even around that time was just, well, it wasn't LeBron and friends at that time because you
It's
still had
better-
Detroit.
It was better then than it is now.
Yeah, it was better then than it is now.
I think the Lakers are going to be. I mean, I'm not worried about the Lakers. They're going to be 4th or 5th seed. They're going home in the second round.
the Lakers.
That's about what you should expect out of this Lakers team. And I don't know why anybody's thinking anything different.
35 and 47 last year. That's
Yeah.
pretty mediocre.
Yeah, that's,
So it's probably going to be flipped, maybe 50.
35 wins in the West. That's pretty good.
yeah. But then also you got to think about it that Lonzo Ball was hurt for 30 games last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when they had him on the court, they had our winning record.
So you're talking about maybe 41 if Lonzo plays all
If Lonzo
82?
plays, you're talking 41, 42,
Yeah,
43
like-
wins.
I don't know,
That's
41.
not not bad for
I
a
think
team with.
I think that's
Yeah,
low. I
it's
could
like-
see them winning 50.
Yeah. Just
No.
like-
I said 41. I'm talking about last year.
Last-
Oh, last year, yeah.
This year they'll win 50.
They won
This year they'll win
35,
50. Yeah.
and Lonzo missed the third of the season.
Yeah, KCP in jail.
Oh yeah,
so,
and then KCP was playing on house arrest.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
No, he was playing from prison.
and you got Luol Deng, at home. So
Yeah. So I mean, they definitely got deeper, and they got LeBron. So that's worth 15 wins. To
it's
me.
just
Right.
people act like the West is so tough. I mean, I'm just like LeBron could beat Portland by himself.
Yeah, I mean, the West isn't what people make the West. The West top is elite of the elite.
I'm gonna need Portland to do because they talked the most this offseason.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that, man.
Yeah, it's like
and after and it's crazy because they talked the most this offseason after getting embarrassed in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I wouldn't have said anything.
Them jokers didn't have
I would've
DeMarcus
disappeared.
Cousins, and y'all got swept. They didn't have.
By one player.
By one player, and they didn't have, that's the thing. That's
and
the thing.
nah, Drew
Drew
Holiday.
Holiday did his thing.
Drew
Drew
Holiday
Holiday
did his
had a
thing.
2012 flashback.
Yeah, he did. He did his thing.
Come on, man.
Rondo kind of.
Rondo did too.
He did
Rondo
his
had a
thing, too.
2012 flashback. Y'all
Yeah.
let two dudes from 2012 beat you in 2018. That makes it even worse.
They went and got in the time machine to sweep y'all.
That was a Rondo from his Celtics days. That wasn't today's Rajon Rondo.
Over under, how long is it going to take for Kirk Heinrich to sign with the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I think he's done.
Yeah,
Because the way the owner is now, it's like I don't think Thibodeau's probably not got no more powers anymore.
for all I know, he may sign with the
You have
Wolves.
no more license here, boy.
He may sign with the Wolves before Christmas Day. For all I know.
You got a better chance being a Hawk.
Oh God.
Wow.
Let's talk about the Hawks before we go, man.
Let's do it.
What y'all expecting out? What y'all expecting out of the Hawks?
I'm thinking they won like 24 games last year. I don't think they're better than they were last year. So I said they'll win like 19.
Me and Roman had a conversation the other day. He said he thought the Hawks could be the 8th or 7th seed.
He right.
Dang, you remind me of
Right.
somebody that writes.
He
Shit.
and he gave me a reason, and I wish he would next in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna get him to come on and explain his theory, but
I don't see that.
I don't see it either. But I do think the Hawks are a lot better than people are willing to.
Jeremy Lin is a hooper.
Yes,
But
that was one of his
I
reasons.
think,
He
I
always-
think a lot of
he
people
always
don't
gets hurt.
know that.
Like,
Yeah.
He always gets hurt, but when
But
he's
he's-
out there,
he's a hooper,
he's not Jeremy. He's not Linsanity that
Like
we
he
saw.
was in New York that
Yeah,
one year.
He ain't that guy, but 16, 17 points per game ain't bad.
No, you might get 16, 17 games out of Jeremy Lin. Like I've seen him. Like
Vince
that's
Carter had a couple 20-point games last year.
That's the reason why Spencer Dinwiddie has a name right now.
Vince Carter, real talk. Vince Carter is the Tom Brady of the NBA. Like this dude is never like he's it's amazing.
Hold up.
This dude is the Tom Brady of the NBA.
No,
He's still got legs.
He may be the what's a really good punter that's been in the league for a long time.
Vinatieri.
Yeah, he's him.
Vinatieri.
He's Vinatieri. Tom Brady would be him. Being Tom Brady would be like Tim Duncan playing great into his 40s.
Well,
Vince Carter was good. He was really good for about 10 years.
I can still see
After
Tim
that,
Duncan.
he just been
I can still see Tim Duncan coming back and still putting up like 12 a game if he was playing in the NBA together.
Yeah, because don't nobody play post defense no more.
He slows molasses coming down the court.
Yeah, he come down last and he get the ball at the free throw line, shoot it, and go back.
Maybe somebody will sign him to a big three.
I can't see Tim Duncan playing in that, man. That's for all the
And then
that's for the old school cats.
But yeah, they
Oh,
were saying,
them the dudes that love to hoop. Tim Duncan got his money, got out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
got
that's
his
true.
rings, and he on the beach somewhere.
Yeah, he got 5 rings, so he
Point
good.
guard battle between Lin and Young. So
Yeah, I think they're gonna play together. I think Young gonna start off at the playing off the ball a little bit, and Lynn's gonna move him into because I don't see Young coming off the bench.
One more thing before we get out of here. Do you think Trae Young's gonna ball out so much we may be talking about him maybe rookie of the year?
Yeah,
no.
definitely.
He'll be in the discussion, but he's not gonna win
I
it.
definitely see him do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna take him a while.
It's gonna take a lot to get rookie of the year over like Knox,
Yeah, Knox, Luka, who else we got?
Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton is probably if he stays healthy, he's probably gonna win it.
Knox will probably be in the contention because I see the way I sort of see it playing out is Knox may not necessarily be the best overall rookie, but because he plays in New York, that will get him a few extra votes.
Watch out for Lonnie Walker too. Lonnie Walker's a baller.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna be
he's
playing
nice.
for a team that's gonna be
playing
in the playoffs.
behind DeMar DeRozan. That's dead.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, that's dead.
He can play the 3 though.
Maybe. Who knows?
They can play together, and I think
because Marco when Marco started at 3 years, I don't know how the Spurs doing their lineup.
I don't know. Marco may come off the bench, but I could see Lonnie Walker earning playing time by the end of the year and being a big deal. By the end
he just got to stay healthy.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy, indeed. If he stays healthy, and we're getting on up out of here. Another episode in the books, and as always, let's get on up out of here, shall we?
All right, this is David Norwood. Twitter said DNorwood90.
Jeremy Johnson, Clark _Kent _75.
You'll Rashad You can follow me on Twitter at The Real RJ Hunter.
The Real RJ Hunter. By the way, wasn't he recently signed to the Hawks?
Yes, sir.
Shoot,
To Atlanta.
give him true to Atlanta. Give him some playing time. By the way, give RJ some playing time.
He will in the preseason.
He got a hungry Bembry.
Akeem Balaam, Twitter, Graham Beyond the W. Check it out. See ya.
I don't want friends, I want Audis. I don't want cars, I want Rarries.